Hello, friends. Have you been performing your whole life, chasing ways to fix yourself, proving that you're enough? Well, here's the truth. You're not broken, and you never were. I'm Anthony Johnson, and this is Living Your Spirit, the podcast for people ready to stop becoming and start being. Stop emotional pain and live outside the matrix. What exactly does that mean? What is emotional pain? And what am I considering the matrix? Welcome to episode 143. This is Anthony, and you're listening to Living Your Spirit. So I wanted to talk about what emotional pain is, and then what we or people tend to consider the matrix to be. So, of course, red pill, blue pill, if you've seen the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, it might be good that you watch the movie because the matrix has a lot to do with what we talk about here. So, emotional pain. What is emotional pain? Emotional pain is when you hear something, you see something, or you feel something that's painful. Painful to you as an individual. Loneliness, sadness, abandonment, anger. You're feeling something in your emotions. In many cases, that leads to you feeling something physical in your body. Maybe you'll get a headache. Maybe you'll get tightness in your chest. Maybe you'll get dry mouth or feel a tightening in your throat. Or maybe you'll feel nausea. Likewise, you may experience something that's more painful physically. Shoulder pain, back pain, hip pain, knee pain, etc. So emotional pain typically will stem from something that happened earlier in life. Generally, between the ages of 0 to 7. So an example could be a parent or a caregiver that isn't around much. They leave, they go to work, maybe they spend a lot of time out socially. So a child will see them, but then notice that they're not around much. The child may feel abandoned. That is a painful feeling that the brain and the central nervous system will remember. It will register it. It will say, I feel this feeling. When this thing happens, I feel this feeling. It can also lead to thinking, although most children under the age of 7 don't do a lot of conscious thinking. Once we get older, that feeling, that emotion can lead to thinking. The person doesn't like me. This person doesn't love me. My parents don't want me. Or it could be whoever the caregiver is that you spend most of your time with. It could be a relative or grandparent, etc. Those emotional pains travel with us until adulthood. So when we're adults, we might run into someone that does the same types of things that our parents did or our caregivers did when we were children. Maybe they go out with us, we have a wonderful time, and then they disappear. We have that same feeling inside. We feel abandoned. We feel like we're not loved. We're not wanted, we're not accepted, we're not good enough. And we may also get physical symptoms, headache, nausea, tightness in the chest. So hopefully that paints you a picture of what emotional pain is, what causes it, and what it does to us throughout our lifetime. What are we, or what am I, considering the matrix? The matrix is what we are conditioned to do, what we're told to do by authority, people in charge, governments, officials. It's a lot of don't do this, don't do that. This is what's best. This is what's accepted, and so on. So it starts right out of the womb, right? You know, little tiny infant children can hear from a parent, stop crying. And the reason I say it that way is because in a lot of cases, the parent also has emotional pain. That emotional pain is reflected in how they act, react, and behave to their newborn child. So imagine a newborn child hearing something like, stop crying. I hate it when you cry. Although the infant can't understand verbally what is being said, they can pick up the energy. They can see the face. They can see the eye contact. And that still registers the same type of emotional imprint. I'm not wanted. I'm not loved. I'm not accepted. I'm not good enough, etc. And at that point, all the infant or the baby can do is cry. So when you live inside the matrix, you're constantly being told what to do, what not to do, how to live, what's best for you, what's not good for you. If you think about it, if you do a Google search or any other type of search and you say, why is alcohol good for me? You'll get a bunch of things that tell you why alcohol is good. If you say, why is alcohol bad for me? You'll get a bunch of things that tell you why alcohol is bad for you. And you can do that with pretty much everything in life. Why is it good to buy a house? Here are all the points. Why is it bad to buy a house? Here are all the points. Why is it good to eat sugar? Why is it good to avoid sugar? Why is it good to be a certain weight? Why is it not good to be a certain weight? Everyone has an opinion. So at the end of the day, we think, what are we supposed to do? It comes down to, what do you want to do? What feels best for you? And what would you feel is living your spirit? What brings you peace? What brings you calmness? What makes you feel joy about the thing you're doing or saying? That's living your spirit. So the matrix tends to make us feel like we don't have enough. You need to make more money. You need to get a bigger house. You need to drive a nicer car. You need to live in a better neighborhood. You need to get that degree. And once you get the bachelor's, you need the master's. And once you get the master's, it's probably better if you get a PhD or a doctorate. If you live in the inner city and you're paying rent that's $1,500, it makes sense for you to move to another place that's better on the other side of town for $3,000. If you're making $100,000 a year, you are in a better position if you make $200,000 per year. If you're 10 pounds overweight, it makes more sense and it's better for you if you lose 10 pounds. All the models are thin and beautiful and tan on every magazine cover. Every day in the news, something's going wrong in the world. There are wars, there are murders, there is theft. The economy is going down the drain. Employment is going down the drain and rising. And how does that make us feel? It makes us feel like crap, right? we're like, holy shit, I live in a world that's crumbling. Everything and everyone around me is going to hell. How do I fix this? What do I do? I need to make more money. I got to go out and buy this thing that makes me happy. Why would I drive a Honda when I can drive a Mercedes? All of these things make us feel like we're not enough. So just imagine being that infant child that is told, stop crying, and feeling like you're not enough. And then as you go through life and watch TV, watch news, go on social media and scroll, have relationships and friendships, and have the whole world telling you in some way you're not enough. You didn't get into this school. You didn't get this degree. You didn't fit into this size dress or this size pants. And it could be anything, right? Whether it's considered too big or too small. Wow, your feet are so small. Ha ha ha. Oh wow, your feet are so big. Ha ha ha. It's like, what do? You don't know which way to go. So we're constantly in this loop of, I got to do more. I'm not good enough. And it makes us feel sad. It makes us feel lonely. It makes us feel disconnected. And that's what the Matrix is designed to do. Keep us feeling down. Keep us feeling negative. Keep us looking for answers. Keep us looking for the way out. And who has the way out? All right, listen, because this is going to be good. Who has the way out? Do we have the way out for ourselves? Or does a third party, someone else, or something else have the way out? Government and social media want us to believe they have the way out. They have the answers. In essence, those answers are what keep us stuck in the loop of we're not good enough. And that leads us to sadness, loneliness, disconnection. So they promote murder, war, robbery, all kinds of crime, all kinds of things going on with the economy. And then they say, we have the solution. And then they give you a solution that they come up with that rarely works. Or it works to a small degree, 10%, 20%. Or it's like a Band-Aid. It works for a few months or a year, and then it no longer works. We're going to fix the housing market by lowering interest rates. Interest rates are low, and then interest rates skyrocket. So there's never really a fix. Nothing really changes significantly in our favor. So what's the other way out? The other way out is we're the answer. We are the way out of what I just considered the Matrix. We understand, we become aware, and then we know that we are the way out. We stop listening to all of the negativity that they provide us with every day in the news. We stop scrolling all the doomsday information on social media. And we stop allowing what people say and what people do to negatively impact us. We think of where am I now? Who am I now? Who do I want to be? So if I'm in a relationship and I'm 25 and somebody just goes out on 3 dates with me and I never hear from them again, I realize that is something going on with them. It has nothing to do with me. And I can look at my feelings of abandonment, my sadness, my loneliness, and say, it's good that I get time to spend with myself. Or this is exciting. I get to find another person to date. But we don't allow those negative emotions that could be hanging around from childhood to now affect us and drag us into the dark hole as adults. So one of the answers or solutions to getting out of the matrix and realizing that everything in the media, in the government, and in the news is to keep us contained, keep us feeling sad, keep us feeling lonely. When we're sad and we're lonely and we're disconnected and, the government or social media or the news says, we have a solution, we get excited. We get that hit of dopamine. However, if we don't ever rely on the news or the government or social media, we don't get that hit of dopamine. We get our own hit of dopamine. That means we realize the more we live our spirit, the more we can get out of the matrix and live our lives more peacefully and more in a way that we're getting what we want and what we need out of life without anything or anyone outside of us. Hello, friends. Quick break. If anything in this show makes you want to explore more, whether it's on chronic pain, trauma work, shadow work, or reclaiming your wholeness, please visit CoachAJ.com and book a discovery call. Now let's get back to the show. That focuses on another topic that I will not go into in this episode, but I have spoken about in previous episodes, and I will speak about in upcoming episodes. And that is, of course, manifestation, using universal laws, and getting the things that we want out of life based on awareness, visualization, and mindset. And one of the problems that we run into is most people don't understand this, most people don't know about it, and most people think it's a bunch of crap. Or I think the term they use is woo-woo. But anyone that knows anything about universal law or the Bible or quantum physics knows that all of this stuff is true and all of this stuff is proven. The way you think and the way you feel and the emotions that you run daily are what run your life. So if you take that infant that felt abandoned and you bring them up to being a teenager who has someone break up with them after 3 months or a date or 2 months, a week, whatever it is, and they feel abandoned, they still carry that. And then maybe they're dating someone in college and the same thing happens. And they get that same feeling and that same emotion that they had when they were an infant. Or maybe someone that they consider their best friend stops calling, stops coming by, changes schools, moves to a new neighborhood, moves to a new city or country, and doesn't contact them. And that same feeling, that same emotion comes back as an adult, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 70, 90. And again, the antidote for that is realizing, where am I now? What's making me feel this now? Why am I so sad? Why am I so lonely? Why am I so disconnected? Why do I feel abandoned? If you can trace it back, which it took me quite a few years to trace back all the things that I felt in adulthood to something that happened in childhood. But once you do that, it's very easy to say, oh wow, I understand now that when my mom said this thing to me, I felt this way. And now when someone else says this thing to me or something similar, I feel the same exact way as I did when I was 5. Or maybe my dad said something, or maybe my dad did something. My dad didn't let me do this thing, and he told me it was for this reason. And that reason made me feel like I wasn't the best son, or I wasn't smart, or I wasn't physically fit enough. Whatever that might be, we carry that into adulthood, and if we can map it back, that's the first step in getting clear on separating the then from the now. Separating then from now is what helps us get out of the matrix. So those hidden fears, blame, resentment, shutting down, can often lead to chronic pain. You might get a back pain, you might get a shoulder pain, you might get a knee pain, but it's keeping things inside. Instead of saying, I feel lonely, I feel abandoned, I'm not understanding what you said or what you did, we tend to feel like no one wants to hear that. Or we tend to feel silly about our feelings. We tend to think, why do I have this feeling? I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I'm judging myself, I'm not going to let anyone know about it. So we keep it inside. We repress it, we suppress it, and that can lead to physical symptoms. Heart palpitations, irritable bowel syndrome, and even chronic and autoimmune disease. So everything that's going on inside the matrix is kind of what leads us to that. Feeling sad, feeling lonely, feeling abandoned, feeling like crap, feeling like we're not enough. And what's the answer? Go to the doctor. What's the doctor do? Does your doctor spend more than 10 minutes with you? Does your doctor even ask you what's going on in your life, in your relationships, in your job? What are you thinking and feeling? Absolutely not. No doctor that I've ever been to has ever asked me that. The antidote is a pill. The antidote is some type of medication. You're hurting, you're feeling bad, take this pill. You're hurting, you're feeling bad, take this medication. So you get your medication, they get their nice little commission for pushing it off on you, and the drug companies make billions. Actually, they're probably making trillions. And do you ever get healed? Absolutely not. You stay in the loop of pain and medication until you figure out something's going on here. Or you're one of the people that's very much like me who always wanted to know what's going on, what's the root cause, why do I have this, what's causing it, how do I get rid of it, what can I do, what can I eat, what can I change, how can I exercise, how can I meditate, whatever it is I need to do. Tell me what that is, because I don't want your drugs. I don't want your pills. I don't want your prescriptions. I've lived my entire life that way. Fortunately, only recently have I been in situations where I kind of felt like it was life or death, and I needed to take certain medications. And I did, for the minimum amount of time, because I understand the process. And I still get calls today from doctors. We found this thing on your blood work. We found this thing on your blood work. This looks abnormal. That's fine. I feel great. And as long as I feel great, I'm not going to continue to just go in and try to fix every little thing in my body with a pill or a drug. People that need pills and drugs, If you need them, take them, but understand something is causing that pain, that illness, that disease, and you need to figure out what that is so that you can stop taking the pill and the medication. So living inside the matrix is not living your spirit. Living inside the matrix is doing what everyone does around you, saying what everyone says around you. It's almost like not being able to think outside the box, like a robot. So I'm in a number of Facebook groups, and I constantly look for people in relationships or going through divorce or in chronic pain. And it is shocking how many people ask questions like, what do I do? And the first sentence in most of my responses is, what do you want to do? What do you think you should do? What do you feel is best for you? What are you sensing is the answer. We need to stop outsourcing what's best for us to complete strangers on social media. What do I do? What do I do? My husband or my wife is leaving me. What do I do? What do you think you should do? I have plenty of people that say, my husband's cheating on me. My wife's cheating on me. What should I do? Well, are you okay being in a relationship where someone cheats on you? That kind of seems like a no-brainer. Why do you need to ask complete strangers from around the world what you should do? But that's where we are. And that's exactly where what we consider the matrix wants us to be. Helpless and hopeless. I can't make any decisions on my own because I might make the wrong decision. And if I make the wrong decision, I won't be liked. I won't be loved. I'll be abandoned. I'll be lonely. And I'll be disconnected. But in essence, that's exactly what's happening anyway. We're disconnected. We're lonely, and we feel abandoned. We don't talk to our partner or our spouse and communicate and say, here's what I want, here's what I need, here's what I've noticed, what's going on with you, here's what's going on with me. We don't say anything to them, but we go on social media and we say, I found this thing in my wife's purse. I found this thing on my husband's phone. What should I do? Oh my God, what should I do? I've got no clue how to figure it out on my own. So I need you, complete strangers, to tell me what I should do in my life. It felt so good to use a British accent to do that. But anyway, I think you understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And do you understand that's what the matrix is? And do you understand how everyone gets trapped in it without even realizing that they're trapped in it? So when they say, get out of the matrix, or take the red pill, or who's choosing which pill they're taking, that's more along the lines of living your spirit, when you can get out of the loop of government, news, social media, and the clever way they make us feel like we're not enough, we're broken. We need to have everything fixed. We need to have everything perfect. Here's this thing for your hair. Is your hair tangled? Get it untangled. Is your hair straight? Here's this thing to curl it. Are you too fat? Take this drug. Are you too skinny? Take this drug or join this gym. Everything is geared to make us feel like we need something. We're not enough. And if we don't have that thing, we're not going to be loved. We're not going to be accepted. We're going to be abandoned. And those are the things we felt as children. And that's why those things still affect us and impact us as adults. So the key is have awareness, have understanding, have insight to what you're thinking and feeling in every moment. Try and map it back to what happened earlier in life. And then separate then from now. How is the matrix working out for you? Do you believe there is a thing called the matrix? Do you have any interest in getting out of the thing that I just named the matrix? If you have questions, drop the question in fan mail, and I'll be sure to answer it in an upcoming episode. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Hello, friends. Thank you for listening. Do you have a question about something you heard in the show? Or do you have your own personal story that you would like to share? Please click on Fan Mail and send a text message, which is located in the show notes. Or call 1-609-310-1777 and leave a voicemail. I will be sure to feature your question on an upcoming episode. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.